In a recent episode of Family Feud, Prince Harry found himself the unexpected star of a round that brought both humor and revealing insights into how Americans perceive the royal figure. Hosted by Steve Harvey, the game invited participants to guess the most popular facts known about the Duke of Sussex, who, since 2020, has lived in Montecito, California with his wife, Meghan Markle, and their 2 children. The lighthearted round unfolded between the Hernandez family and the Coes, delivering moments that were equal parts laughter and surprise. The game kicked off with Steve Harvey's booming voice and characteristic wit, setting the stage for the contestants to tackle the prompt, "Name something most Americans know about Prince Harry." With the Hernandez family taking the first crack at it, the room buzzed with anticipation. Fabian Hernandez, the family patriarch, quickly stepped up, his face alight with confidence. His answer, "He's married to Meghan Markle," was met with immediate approval as the board flashed the most popular response. Harvey's nod and signature eyebrow raise sparked a chorus of applause from the audience, setting a jubilant tone for the rest of the round. The game proceeded, and the board slowly filled with insights into what resonates most about Prince Harry in the public mind. The second most popular answer, son of Princess Diana, highlighted the enduring legacy of his mother, whose story has remained etched in the global consciousness long after her untimely death. This particular fact carried an emotional weight, underscoring how Diana's influence has followed her sons into adulthood, shaping public perception even as they carved out their own identities. Harvey, always adept at balancing humor with sentiment, took a brief moment to acknowledge this with a nod that suggested he, too, recognized the poignancy behind the answer. Next came a few unexpected twists. When one of the Hernandez family members suggested that Harry's royal status would be the next most common association, it surprisingly appeared only in 4th place as "he's a prince." The revelation that this fact ranked lower than others prompted a collective murmur from the audience, reflecting perhaps a shift in how people now view him, not just as a prince, but as a figure who has evolved beyond the confines of traditional royal duties. The Hernandez family ran into a few stumbles, garnering 3 strikes over the course of their guesses. One incorrect answer suggested by a family member was, "He's wealthy," which, while technically true, didn't make the list of top associations. This miss perhaps highlighted a nuanced public perception of Harry. Although he is affluent, the focus of media coverage has often shifted toward his personal struggles and outspoken departure from royal norms, rather than his wealth. Another failed guess was that Americans might associate him strongly with his brother, Prince William. This answer, too, did not make the board, indicating that public interest has increasingly viewed Harry as a standalone figure, particularly since his departure from royal duties and move to the United States. As the round neared its conclusion, tension crackled in the air. The Hernandez family, despite their initial success, found themselves teetering with 3 strikes. The final moments were marked by hurried whispers and darting glances as they debated their last attempt. The Coes watched intently, poised for their chance to steal the points. Ultimately, the Hernandez family's efforts fell short, leaving the stage open for the Coes to make their move. Steve Harvey, leaning in with a grin that suggested he knew the round had reached its climactic peak, called on the Coes to give their answer. They offered, "He's an advocate," in reference to Harry's numerous philanthropic endeavors and vocal advocacy for mental health and veteran issues. While this was true, it was not one of the top answers. Harvey's playful disappointment, punctuated by a shrug and a laugh, wrapped up the round, which ended with the Hernandez family taking home the points despite their earlier missteps. The results of this round offered more than just a fun segment on a beloved game show. It painted a broader picture of how Prince Harry is perceived in America, through the lens of his high-profile marriage, his emotional connection to Princess Diana, and the echoes of his royal title, albeit not necessarily linked to traditional notions of power or wealth. The omission spoke volumes too. The absence of William and the relatively lower placement of Harry's princely status suggested a public view that now separates him from his former life as a senior royal. This round became a microcosm of Harry's journey from palace to private life, reflecting the aspects that continue to captivate and surprise audiences on both sides of the Atlantic. The game's atmosphere was charged with lightheartedness and Steve Harvey's signature humor, but as the results unfolded, it became clear that Prince Harry's identity in the public mind had shifted significantly over the years. Once primarily seen as part of the larger royal machinery, he is now viewed as an individual navigating his path, for better or worse, in the unique glare of transatlantic fame. From his Montecito home base, Harry's life, intertwined with that of Meghan Markle and marked by candid revelations about family, identity, and advocacy, continues to be a topic of fascination and evolving narratives. Ultimately, Family Feud did more than entertain. It showcased an intriguing snapshot of how Harry is perceived today, not just as a prince or a wealthy ex-royal, but as someone whose public story is layered, complex, and distinctly his own.